Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest on the Clash of the Champions, the Ghetto Odds match, 3 men versus 2 men. Introducing first, soon to be making their way to the ring, first, yet to be identified partner of...
Well, you better get out of there. I can identify that you're in trouble, Gary Capetta, Ron Simmons, and some guy that we don't even... Who is that guy, Jess?
I got no idea who he is. All I know is the champ brought him in. The champ said he'd have a partner, and there he is. Kopetsky didn't tell us who he is, so I don't know what to call him.
Cactus Jack, the Barbarian, and Atlas having to huddle up out here. 3 men versus 2. It's Ron Simmons and some young man. Well, Simmons, way all the way over. Simmons just assisted his partner with a high-risk move over the top, a crossbody on all 3 men.
And again, Jim Ross, I've never seen this guy before. And I mean, I've traveled pretty much everywhere in wrestling here in the United States. I have no idea who this man is. But the champ, Ron Simmons, found him. And I'll tell you what, he went over the top rope like he's done it many, many times before.
Well, as we all know, it was scheduled to be Robbie Walker and Ron Simmons. I do not know the story behind this one. Walker obviously not here, and Simmons in there with the Barbarian, the world's heavyweight champion. Now get caught in the midsection by this big Barbarian, clubbing right hand. Simmons reverses the Irish whip. Hip block, the Barbarian up and over. He drop kicks, Atlas coming in. Cactus Jack trying a big right hand, and Simmons takes him down. Ron Simmons, the king of the ring here.
Well, I'll tell you what, Simmons and his partner, the nameless man in the corner, we don't know who he is. The champ doing a good job right there, taking on all 3 of the opponents.
Well,
and here's the tag. What are you going to call him, Jim?
I really don't know. I don't know his name. Ron Simmons' partner, I guess.
Sounds good to me. That's what we'll call him.
Cactus Jack catches him in the midsection, and a big clubbing right hand. Well, I'll tell you something. This is a situation, 3 men versus 2, that Simmons wanted. He talked a lot about it. Nice move. Caught him with that forearm. Good move. A lot of explosion there from Ron Simmons' partner.
I'll tell you, Simmons' partner. Look at this. Whoa! He caught Cactus in the head with his foot. Did a complete flip off the top turnbuckle.
Crossbody. Cactus Jack. A half a count away there. A drop kick. And Ron Simmons' unknown partner makes the tag. Well, we knew who this man is.
This man's the world champion.
You better believe it. I know his buddies from Florida State, all his guys, the Atlanta Falcons watching this one. Big Ron Simmons, he is the man. Coming back with those right hands and lefts, backing Cactus Jack in the corner. The Irish whip is reversed by Cactus. Simmons catches the bad man from New Mexico and takes him down.
And Cactus is in trouble now. They need this. They got 3 guys in their court. There's the move. Tony Atlas hooking Cactus Jack. Simmons going for the drop kick. Nobody home. Crashes on the mat. Here comes the big Barbarian to do some damage.
Power elbow drive from the 300-pound Barbarian. Goes for it again, and it finds its mark. Lateral press. He's got the leg hook, and he got a near fall on the world's heavyweight champion. Another tag made. You're seeing, surprising to me anyway, some good teamwork from Cactus Jack-led trio. The headbutt by big, powerful Tony Atlas hammers away Ron Simmons in the corner. Another tag made.
You know, I'm still amazed, though, Jim Ross, why the champ would get involved in this type of match, 3 against 2. I mean, it's tough enough to go 2 against 2, not having a 3rd guy in there.
Cactus Jack just knocked Simmons' partner right off into the floor. Referee's got to restrain that young man. In the meantime, look at the double team effort by Cactus Jack and the Barbarian on the world's champion.
There's 3 of them. I'd call it a triple team in the corner. Here comes Big Tony into the ring. Tony Atlas. Look at the guns on this guy.
Ron Simmons being physically challenged here by this trio of big, tough men, all over 300 pounds. Simmons' head rammed into the knee of the Barbarian, who gets the tag. Simmons elevated there. Barbarian got right under him, Jess, and now the lateral press. He's going for it, and he got 2.
Well, the one thing in Simmons' favor, this is a tag match, so his title is not in jeopardy if the champ gets beat.
Snapmare, and they make the tag. Here comes the leader of this diabolical threesome, Cactus Jack, going for the high-risk move. We know he'll put his own body on the line, and Simmons caught him. A foot right to the face. Cactus misses some teeth anyway, and Simmons makes the tag. Tony Atlas is in. Spinning martial arts kick, a drop kick, right up in their face. Another drop kick, staggers the Barbarian, and Simmons is back in.
And look at this, Simmons and his partner are taking on all 3 of them. The champ's got 2 of them tied up in the corner if he can hold on. Atlas fires Simmons' partner out to the floor. And the champ's in big trouble now. He's getting triple teamed in there, Jim Ross.
Ron Simmons said it himself. It's a ghetto odds match. The full Nelson, the kick, and Simmons ducked. Atlas got kicked right in the face by the Barbarian. Simmons takes Cactus out. Oh, what a move!
The queen of the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Ron Simmons.
What a phenomenal move! And we don't even know his name! One of the most spectacular maneuvers I have ever seen!
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, the computerized challenge match for the World Tag Team Championship. It is set for 1 fall, TV time remaining. First, the challengers, as selected by the computer. From Denver, Colorado, 231 pounds, to Cold Scorpio. And the WCW Magazine Rookie of the Year, Marcus Alexander Bagwell.
Scorpio, Bagwell, and they barely edged out in the computerized challenge. The former tag
And
team
ladies and
champions to get
gentlemen,
their shot here
their
this week.
opponents, they are the World Tag Team Champions, the Hollywood Blondes.
This is a major, major opportunity.
They could never be like the Hollywood Blondes.
Because you got me, I'm a bit puzzled on a computer could spit them out and give them a shot at the champs.
Also want to add that next week, the Hollywood Blondes, Flying Brian, Stunning Steve will be Ric Flair's guest on a Flair for the Gold. And of course, by this time next week, they may not have those World Tag Team belts because we may have Scorpio Bagwell with the gold.
Yeah, that's true.
And then if that happens, of course, in the match coming up at Slamboree, Scorpio and Bagwell will face Douglas and Steamboat for the World Tag Team title.
Well, right now we got Bagwell and Flying Brian, 1/2 of the Hollywood Blondes, the WCW World Tag Team Champions. And Flying Brian complaining about something.
No, he's not. He's got something out of his trunks. He's got an object in his fist for crying out loud. I mean, the match just begun. There it is.
Looks like some type of fist load, Tony. Oh, I mean, I'll tell you, brilliant. Look at that, he slipped it into the knee pad.
All right.
He's checking the ham now. Nothing. M&M's. Melts in your mouth, not your hand.
They pay you to say that?
No. Thought of it myself.
What this has served is the fact that now the Hollywood Blondes have Bagwell and Scorpio thinking, concerned.
And that could be trouble for Bagwell and Scorpio to have to think.
Now just shoulder over the top. Bagwell, waistlock, and Flying Brian throws him up. Missed an elbow.
Telegraph the
tag. Not only will the legends be there in appearance, but many of the legends will be wrestling.
That scares me, Tony. Some of them are getting on up there in years. We don't need, you know.
Keep your pistol.
Are the paramedics going to be there?
Of course, they're always there.
A lot of Ben Gay.
Well, hey, we got guys like Wahoo McDaniel. He can still go.
Ox Baker.
Ivan Koloff, who we heard. Baron Von Raschke. American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Don Morocco.
Lord James Blair's. He's got to be, what, about 38 now, isn't he?
I think he's at
38 times 2.
side headlock. Really tremendous shoulder block now by Bagwell. Oh, and Austin got the foot to the midsection, stunning Steve.
And now he's filming him. I like that.
Stop Bagwell in his tracks. You know, they travel to all the different cities around the USA, what they call the Big Blonde Machine. Bagwell! Oh, yeah. He blocked it. Right hand.
Ooh, and that kick looked a little low.
That suplex looked darn good. Two count. Big opportunity here on Worldwide for Bagwell and Too Cold Scorpio. The computerized Contender Challenge World Tag Team title. Bagwell taking Stunning Steve off his feet.
And so far, it's been all Bagwell throughout this match. Too Cold is yet to see the ring. Ah, he must have been listening to me. There's the tag.
The Cold Man. Side headlock on Stunning Steve.
He is the Cold Man, but he wrestles very hot.
Yeah, he's red hot, as a matter of fact. Two men who have been moving up the ranks in tag team wrestling. Created quite a stir as well, quite a lot of excitement. Too Cold over the top, line by the wrist.
He catches him with the block tip.
Step there, Tingle. Cover. Yeah, oh, I thought he had it.
I'll tell you, the thing you got to do, you got to get Too Cold out of sync. Because if he gets in the sync out there and gets in the rhythm, there's no stopping this guy. And Stunning Steve with a good tag to Flying Brian. Stunning Steve back into the ring. I'll tell you, they were beefing during our time out there, Tony.
Yeah, they had some problems. Too Cold. Hooks on. Sets him over, sets him down. Two. What a tremendous hold. Raise it up. Got it two again. Double up pickup. Rolls him up. Two more. Oh, Austin's got a man right into the top.
Great if you can hit it, but if you miss one time, as the Cold Man, Too Cold Scorpio did right there. Stunning Steve taking advantage of referee didn't see none of it. Ain't that the great thing about it, Tony? The champs can hide it, so look at the referee. He ain't got a clue.
And now, Stunning Steve picking up where left off with a chokehold.
Stunning Steve's doing his damage, but look at the referee. He ain't got a clue. He don't know. He thinks everything's fine.
And again,
There's the towel again.
oh, come on now.
Referee sending the cold man back to the corner.
You know, Jesse, what's going to have to happen is WCW is going to have to prohibit these guys from bringing that towel to the ring.
They're going to have to get a referee with eyes in the back of his head.
One of the two. Of course, as he rips Bagwell's head across the mat, it's a double-edged sword here, Jeff, because if the referee catches them with the towel, he'll disqualify him, and they'll still retain the title.
Well,
So there you go.
nobody said it'd be easy taking the titles from the champs, did they? But then again, there's a cover.
Austin had the referee tied up, and both forearms to the side of the head. One. Oh, my goodness, I'm getting out of breath calling this one. Two.
I'll tell you what, though, to get back to the towel thing here, that'd still be up to the referee's discretion, though. He wouldn't have to disqualify.
Tag is ready.
He can never be like the Hollywood Boss.
Back it up.
Genius.
Break it up.
Genius.
Come on, whip it. Back it up. Back it up.
Smash.
What? You better watch.
Hollywood Blinds, Austin. Brian told me as you were right in the corner.
He can
stop the
never
run.
ever.
Back it up.
They told me they're going to give Bagwell and Tuchel their freshman greatness here.
Well, they're doing that. What a match this has been, though. Win, lose, or draw, both teams. Look at this. Bagwell with a great instinct move. Saw Stunning Steve coming off the top and nailed him.
Down goes Tuchel. Double team. Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
They have gotten away with everything. Everything in this match.
But they did it in classic style because the referee, I said it before, don't have a clue what they're getting away with. That takes talent, Mr. Tony Schiavone. It's one thing to cheat and get caught. It's another thing to cheat and not get caught. Oh, over the top and he got away with it.
And again. Flying blind, Stunning Steve getting away with everything. In this match for the World Tag Team Championship next week, the computerized challenge continues. It'll be for the U.S. title. Dustin Rhodes and, yes, Ravishing Rick Rude next week. But the jury is still out on this.
It's time to make him quit.
Make it quit.
It's time to make him quit. They said he's going in the abdominal stretch.
And that may be easier said than done, Jeff.
Yeah, but Bagwell may quit, too. He ain't looking good. Look at this.
He's not looking good.
Little extra leverage right there. Stunning Steve shaking hands with Brian, congratulating him already. You see that, Tony?
Yes, they were shaking hands.
Their hands were two together.
Well, I know they were together.
Watch.
Jesse, you know as well as I do
Watch,
what's going
Tony.
on.
They're going to shake hands right here. Here it comes. There they go. They're shaking hands.
He's pulling on the hand. The net result is the pressure on Bagwell. He took a good look at the youngster on the abdominal region.
Bagwell looks like he's about ready to throw his cookies. He looks sick.
Oh, Jesse. Fans getting behind Bagwell here. Wow, what a match. World Tag Team Championship.
Tell me, Tony, in all the years that, whoa, he reversed that. In all the years you've been broadcasting, you ever seen someone puke in the ring?
Yes, I have. Cover. One. The one count. And slammed him down. Drives to the head, and Bagwell is in trouble. We do understand there are 2 minutes remaining in this television program.
Well, right now the advantage is all the way with the champions because Bagwell's a hurt customer in there right now. He ain't gonna get no pinfall in the next 2 minutes.
And I only hope that Gary Capetta announced that to the participants so they know as well. They could be wrestling and we have to go off the air here.
Elbows and not a lot out of going. Oh, yeah. Stunning Steve with the quick clothesline. Bagwell's hurt. You can tell those elbows didn't have any mustard on them.
Less than 2 minutes to go.
Bagwell dropped out of the way.
There's 1 minute remaining to time limit. 1 minute.
1 minute to go.
Seconds of time limit. 30 seconds.
What's the ref, Shivani?
Less than 30 seconds down. Scorpio rolls in.
15 seconds remain.
15 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The bell is sounded. We have a time limit draw. We are out of time here on Worldwide.
What a match, Tony.
They'll retain the World
Ladies and gentlemen, the time limit has expired. The official decision, a draw. Draw.
Next week, it will be Dustin Rhodes, Rick Rude, and the Pure Rock Champions, which is in
We're still the champions.
Back live on TBS, Tony Schiavone, Jesse the Body Ventura, and finally Max Payne was sent to the back, but we are set to go with our NWA title match, and here comes the challenger, Jess.
Here he comes, the cold man, Too Cold Scorpio.
Gosh, what about what happened to Johnny B. Bad for crying out loud?
Hey, Johnny got his bad blaster back.
And then what happened?
Literally.
Then what happened to the Z-Man?
Well, that's what you get. In Z-Man's case, he stuck his nose in where it didn't belong.
We hope to have an update on the condition of Johnny B. Bad coming up on WCW Saturday night this Saturday, 6:05 right here on TBS.
You know, people may be able to find it out. Call the 900 number right now.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, Gordon, solely Michael Hayes will be answering your questions during this clash. Maybe one of the lucky callers to talk live to Gordon and Michael and some of the wrestlers on tonight's card by calling the wrestling hotline. Here comes your NWA champ. Right here on live TV. Barry Windham and Too Cold Scorpio. We may have an update on Johnny B. Bad before the end of the night, and we certainly hope to. When the fans are into this one, it's going to be a classic matchup.
Well, this is the cold man's chance right now, and guess who we got? He's standing right in the middle of that ring, Tony Schiavone.
Yes, sir. He's here with us tonight. Set to go for the NWA title match here on TBS. Let's go to Michael Buffer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to a one-fall match sanctioned by the National Wrestling Alliance. So man your battle stations. This is for the NWA Heavyweight Championship. The referee for this bout is Nick Patrick. Introducing first, wearing the orange and white and weighing 233.5 pounds. He's ranked number 3 in the world, along with his partner Marcus Bagwell, for a shot at the World Tag Team title. With 6 years of experience, he's had over 400 professional wrestling matches. And tonight, after just returning from a tour of Japan, he gets a shot at a heavyweight title. Ladies and gentlemen, the disc that don't miss. He's the challenger from Denver, Colorado, the high flyer, 2Cold Scorpio. And his opponent wearing black and red and weighing 261 pounds. This second-generation professional from Sweetwater, Texas, has 4 times been a World Tag Team Championship, and twice he's held the United States titles. He won this NWA title by defeating the Great Muta in Super Brawl 3. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the NWA Heavyweight Champion, the Lone Wolf, Barry Windham.
All right, so we are set to go in our first title match at Clash of the Champions. Don't forget the World Tag Team title. Flair's first appearance in the ring. He and Arn against the Hollywood Blondes still to come in our big 6-man. Rude Vader Vicious against Road, the British Bulldog and Sting, and we are red hot in Norfolk at Clash of the Champions.
I'll tell you what, Michael Buffer knows how to set that table, doesn't he, Tony?
No doubt about that, Jess. Good to have him with us. Good to have you with us wherever you are. As Michael Buffer told us, Nick Patrick is the referee assigned, and here we go. What do you think about in this match, Jess? You got the speed and you got the tall, big NWA champ.
Well, it's simple. If you go with experience, you go with Windham. But if you go with who's hot here in WCW, you might think 2Cold Scorpio may spring the upset of the year right now.
Absolutely.
He's coming in off a successful tour of Japan, and the guy needs to dictate the pace of the matchup. He can't allow Windham. And there he did it. He caught Windham with a big drop kick right out of the get-go. And that's what the Cold Man's got to do. He's got to take chances. He doesn't dare wrestle conservative.
Windham being very deliberate in the opening part of this match against Scorpio.
You know, in reality, Scorpio's got nothing to lose here, Tony. He is the challenger, but not many people giving him much of a chance, so he can turn it loose.
Absolutely. This is his shot, and he's having tremendous audience watching. Good to have you with us. As we said, we are coming live in the Norfolk Scope. Tremendous crowd on hand. Barry Windham, a little bit too close to Scorpio that time, and that, I think that's shocked Windham as much anything else to see a slam.
Yeah, absolutely. 2Cold showing he's got some power. The Norfolk Scope. Why do they call it a scope?
It's Norfolk. It's not Norfolk. It's Norfolk.
Whatever, but why do they call it a scope? It's an auditorium. It's a civic center, a scope.
The Scope Coliseum.
Well, one thing good about it here, you got all Navy. You ain't got any jarheads. You ain't got no Army dog faces in this town.
Right hand. You make enemies everywhere you go, don't you? Right hand. And there's a chop from Barry Windham in the back. Windham, the man who in the corner refused to comment on the return of Ric Flair. Walked out on me, walked out on you on WCW Saturday night. Finally, he made it known that he is no longer a horseman. He is a lone wolf, and therefore the name, the Lone Wolf Barry Windham. Scorpio up on top, taking Windham down by the legs. Unorthodox takedown that time by Scorpio, but he turns it into maybe a half crab. But Windham goes to the ropes.
Well, he attempted to get it into a half Boston crab, but Barry Windham, the veteran, got to the rope, jumps out to the floor, and there you see the smart wrestler. That's why he's the NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Windham has been very vocal about the return of Flair. Take a look at this crowd and the beautiful Scope Coliseum.
Scope.
In Norfolk, Virginia.
Oh, it's named after the mouthwash. I can see why here in Virginia.
Oh, my. You never quit. I mean, you never quit. Right hand to the jaw. Back in the corner. And Scorpio sending Windham on a great reversal. He ducked the right hand. Windham ducked also.
Whoa, they both ducked on that one, but 2Cold couldn't duck on the big Barry Windham, size 14 to the chest.
As earlier, when Windham was shocked about the slam, Scorpio may have been shocked about Windham's quickness right there. Windham levels it.
You know, I'll tell you what, everybody knows how good Too Cold is with his aerial stuff, but Barry Windham is no slouch when it comes to taking that 6'7", 270-pound frame up and doing aerial maneuvers. He's going up again.
Windham,
Nope, maybe not.
the lone wolf getting a head start here.
Whoa!
From the knee. I think he thought about it, Jess, but realized that Scorpio was way too far away to go up top.
That was just as bad. Big elevation, driving the knee into the side of the ear, the side of the head on Too Cold Scorpio. And the man from Denver's in trouble.
I know he's going to be watching the match later on with Flair, as everybody in this arena will be. 1, 2 count.
Wow, Windham thought he had him there in a bit of a sloppy cover. He didn't hook a leg. You can see Windham glaring at Too Cold. Oh, and look at that, goes right into the eyes and face. That's the mean streak in Barry Windham. That's what I like about him. Even if he don't want to talk to you, Tony.
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk to anybody. He wants to talk to you. And that's his prerogative. This is not the NBA where we fine people for not talking to reporters. Right hand.
By the way, who's Michael Jordan betting on tonight?
I really set you up for that one, didn't I? Into the ropes. Oh! Windham held onto the ropes on the far side.
I heard Jordan's given 2-1 on the Hollywood Blondes later.
They got to go 2 out of 3 falls. The old way, the old-fashioned way. Title match. There is the leaping DDT from Windham. He got it off Scorpio, and this is maybe at 1, 2. Scorpio got out of the way. You know, I said leaping DDT. I don't think it was a leaping DDT. It was just straight down and kind of...
Nonetheless, it was a DDT,
Yeah.
and I'm amazed that Scorpio was able to kick out right before that 3 count. Man, oh man.
kind of a nonchalant cover that time, would you say, Jess?
Well, Windham's cocky. You could tell Windham thinks, whoa,
Rolls him
outside
up.
cradle.
1, 2 with a cradle. He almost got the NWA title, did Scorpio.
You know, Windham better not take this kid lightly. He's got everything going his way right now. But as a champion, you can't take any opponent light. Gut wrench. And there was a decent cover, but Scorpio again kicking out.
And Windham now not looking for a pin here. He is just going to lay in some punishment on Scorpio. If you just joined us, Johnny B. Bad was seriously injured at the hands of Max Payne in the Bad Blaster. He actually shot it right off in his face, the Bad Blaster. If you call the hotline right now, you may be able to hear an update on the condition of Johnny B. Bad. We have not received any communication as of yet. There's a drop kick from Too Cold.
I'd give him the condition right now, Tony.
Oh, Windham to the midsection. What's that?
He's hurting.
Well, you're right. To what extent, we don't know. We know it's in the face. The man who prided himself on being the prettiest in WCW. And now Windham, the NWA champion, has Scorpio hurt here. And Windham taking his measure of Too Cold. I wonder if the recent tour of Japan maybe has Scorpio a little bit tired here.
Well, Too Cold's not flying too well. He may be suffering from jet lag. And that's his own fault. He knew he had this match coming up. Why the heck would he run off to Japan? What do you think? Eating raw fish would make him stronger?
I don't know. He has some competition over there. Out he goes. Scorpio hit hard on the outside, and Windham's after it. Nick Patrick, the referee, asserting himself here.
Yep, Patrick took control there. Windham started to go to the floor. Patrick made him think otherwise. And Windham back in the ring now. He's going to pull Too Cold up on his own. And you're right, Too Cold looks lethargic, Tony. Then again, it might just be he's out of his league.
Well, I don't think that's the case at all. And I know the fans around the world watching this realize that Scorpio, one of the top contenders for the World Tag title, has been focusing on tag matches as of late. But he has his shot here, and anything can happen. Scorpio on top, 1! Windham got out in a 2 count that time, but that was close, Jess.
Close but no cigar. Barry Windham still the champ and still in control. And look at the size 14 into the midsection again. And this, whoa, and look at that drop kick. I told you about it earlier. Too Cold's the master of aerial, but don't sell Barry Windham short on it.
Scorpio sent into the ropes. Wyndham hoisting him up. Oh, crucifix. Drop back on it.
This is over now. It's got to be.
No, sir. He got the right shoulder up. Barry did not really put all of his weight down across the chest that time, Jess.
Unbelievable. I didn't think he had to. Scorpio fighting on instinct right now. I give him credit. The kid's hanging in there. He's being resilient.
That goes into the makeup of a great professional wrestler.
But look at that. Wyndham just measures that right hand, Tony. Look at Too Cold's out on his feet. He's cold, all right. He's out cold. After this match, they might call him out cold Scorpio. Belly to back suplex.
Here we go. Cover 1, 2. And once again, he gets that right shoulder up. Notice how Wyndham's cover is not really pressing him. And he's enabling Scorpio just to shoot the right shoulder up here. Wow, what a matchup. We still have that 6-man tag, Rude, Vader, and Vicious against Dustin.
Oh, look
Sting,
at this, look at this. Wyndham's paintbrushing, oh.
And a 2 out of 3 fall world tag title match, the return of Ric Flair. But Wyndham right now. Scorpio showing, as you said, Jess, resiliency, tenacity, never say die attitude here. And he crawls right down the big Texan's back and covers it.
And he almost stole one there. Oh, but he walked into the clothesline by Barry Windham. Wyndham's dictating the tempo of this match, though. Yeah. Don't you agree, Tony?
There's no question about
that. And I
that.
said at the outset that Too Cold wouldn't be able to win it if he allowed Wyndham to dictate the tempo of the match.
Over the top, Scorpio once again fires back on Wyndham. A back suplex, and now both men are down. Scorpio with a tremendous move out of desperation, but not able to follow it up with anything here, Jess.
Well, he slowed Wyndham down. That's the one positive thing he got out of that. Wyndham now having trouble getting up.
Into the eyes. Barry Windham. Now, well, he's going to set him up for a superplex. One of his premier moves. Scorpio, you can tell he's winded or he wouldn't be able to stick with this one. Oh, he threw him off.
Whoa!
1, 2!
He kicked out!
Did he?
2!
Oh, I thought it was 3. Oh, my. I thought it was 3. So did many of the fans here. Scorpio up on top, Windham. Scorpio with like a victory roll. Didn't go for the cover there.
Instead, the cold man's gonna dish out some more punishment to the NWA champion right hand. Whoa, a super kick right to the jaw. Staggers Wyndham against the top rope.
Rolls him up. 1, 2.
Whoa, Wyndham snakes his way out of that one.
That's the first time I saw a slide out of a pinning predicament. Scorpio! 1, 2, and Wyndham's out of it again! He's out of it again, unbelievable!
What a matchup, Tony Schiavone! I love it!
NWA title and Clash of the Champions! Scorpio up top!
He got it with a drop kick!
And a cover again! No, he didn't get it again! Oh my, oh my!
It's only in WCW and TBS do you see this kind of wrestling, Tony.
Wyndham sending Scorpio out, but Scorpio back in.
Oh, he caught him coming over the top.
Right hand, right in the jaw. And now Wyndham after the right hand. Here it comes. Hooks him, leaping DDT. He got it that time. He got it. 1, 2, and Barry Windham wins it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following main event match is for the World Tag Team Championship. Introducing first the challengers at a combined weight of 465 pounds from Marietta, Georgia, Marcus Alexander Bagwell. His tag team partner from Denver, Colorado, Too Cold Scorpio.
surprise? It's
Ladies and
Teddy
gentlemen,
Long.
they are accompanied to the ring by Teddy Long.
How about that, Jesse Ventura?
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good surprise because if anybody knows how to create tag team champions, it's Teddy Long.
That's right. You're exactly right. It's Teddy Long, who's been a supporter of Too Cold and Bagwell's for a long time. And Teddy Long, a man who has been quite a force in the community in Atlanta, Georgia, is at ringside now. And here come the champs.
Ladies and gentlemen, their opponents. They're accompanied to the ring by Missy Hyatt from the streets of New York City, the World Tag Team Champions, Nas and Sedge, the Nasty Boys.
Bagwell, you'll never make it into Hammer, baby.
For the last 2 weeks, the Nasty Boys have been on the tail end of some great matches at the hands of Too Cold and Bagwell. They've been pinned twice in a row. Now, fans, we are going to take you in the ring with the sounds of this match as well as the commentary. So it should be a very unique match and a first in World Championship Wrestling. And tomorrow night, the belts are on the line against the same guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bagwell and Scorpio are two fortunate dudes right now. I mean, they're getting back-to-back title shots one night after another. How do they rate that? And don't say because they pinned them last week, because that was no match last week, Tony. Tony?
I was trying to listen to some pregame chatter. You hear the referee, Nick Patrick.
Our mics are going into the ring on this one.
All right, here we go. Boy, the Nasty Boys getting the early advantage here.
Come on, you punk!
Head first in a double team. Not only that, and a double drop kick. Too Cold, Scorpio, and Bagwell.
And I'll tell you what, Tony, the Nasty Boys had it their way early in the matchup, but Bagwell and Scorpio coming back strong. Bagwell somersaulted underneath. Scorpio came over the top and put the Nasty Boys outside the ring.
Your face! You stinking losers! We're the champs! They know who they want the champions to be! Hey, they better shut their stinking mouth! Shut your mouth, referee! Get this mic out of my face!
Keep an eye on them belts, Missy. Don't let them get it going now. Take it teamwork. Keep them going. Knock his freaking eyes out.
Slow it down right now. Come on. Okay, who goes guard now?
Very interesting, Tony, to listen in on the strategy.
Teddy Long kind of directing things there in the corner, doing a much better job, I think, than Missy Hyatt in controlling the team here. All right, here we go.
Keep on him, Mob. On him, Mob.
A lot of confidence in that Nasty Boys corner. You can hear it and see it.
This is real interesting, actually listening to what's going on inside the ring. You can hear the teamwork.
That's nasty, you scum. Yeah.
And an argument between Nick Patrick and Knobbs. Boy, Knobbs is mouthy.
Well, different styles to different wrestlers. A lot of them like to talk, others are very quiet.
Oh, backflip. Spinning wheel kick. And he takes both men down.
body slam. You notice the difference. You got, whoa, and a beautiful back flip. He's got the leg hooked. 1, 2, and almost a 3 count.
Teddy Long is called for a tag. And there you got it. Boy, they're listening to Teddy, aren't they? And that time, Sags called for the double clothesline on the outside, and I think Too Cold and Bagwell hurt him. That was their strategy. Wow, listen to the intensity in there, Jess.
Here, Teddy Long calling for another tag.
You are listening to a first in WCW. The microphones are in the ring, World Tag Title on this Halloween Havoc weekend.
And now look at the jawing we got outside the ring, Missy and Teddy.
Once again, Teddy calling for the tag, directing traffic here. Isn't it odd? Whoa, down on the arm. That we've heard out of Teddy, make the tag, stay in there, do this, do that. And the only thing we've heard from Missy is, what's that thing on your head?
Missy don't have to talk.
Good.
Hey, referee, come on, guys, get the man out of my face! Knock him off the ropes right now! Get out of the corner! Get out of my face! You get that man out of the corner, you'll take a hike to the dress. Come on, man!
Oh, my!
Come on, now!
It's got to be kind of fun for the fans to hear, Tony.
Oh, I think it's great, Jess. Not only that, I think it just goes to show that, hey, a referee is not an easy job. A cover. 2 count. Hey, and the teamwork, Jess, you take a look at a unique shot here. A teamwork to the midsection. Resides with Too Cold and Bagwell. Double drop kick.
You know what else you notice right here? You notice how the referee stepped in on Sags and berated him, and yet when the double team came from Bagwell and Scorpio, ref said nothing. Pretty interesting, huh?
Drop kick.
Oh, you don't want to comment on that one, huh?
Let's listen in. Wrong corner for Sags, and the wrong corner for Too Cold.
And I think Knobs got the better of the deal on that one. He nailed Too Cold. Too Cold flipped out all the way to the floor. You can see Teddy Long over there trying to help him out.
Get away, you get away! Come on, Cole. Come on, baby, you can do it. Come on. Come on. Come on, get out.
Hear that great coaching by Missy?
Yeah, you don't mess with the Nasty Boy. She's really something, isn't she? Oh, a chair.
And you didn't need no microphones to hear that one. Too Cold Scorpio out on the floor in obvious pain. He may not get back in time. He's crying, Tony.
He's hurting.
There's a cover.
Well, Too Cold Scorpio drawing some emotion from the fans here. But the double teaming continues. Got it too. You like that, huh?
Knob saying whoop, there it is right there. Abdominal stretch being applied by Knobbs right here on Too Cold Scorpio. What is Teddy doing? Conducting the orchestra?
Getting fan support.
Well, that's going to win a lot.
Channing Scorpio.
And now Sags with a series of elbows.
Break this back. You're down.
Oh my, kicking him in the head.
More of an insult kick than a damage kick.
Listen to the encouragement for Teddy Long and Marcus Bagwell. Kick out. Calling from the corner.
Scorpio's hurting right now, though. If he don't tag out, it's over.
Briefly remind the fans, Halloween Havoc is tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. These two teams will go after the titles. And also Sid Vicious, Ric Flair next Saturday night here on TBS, 6:05 Eastern Time, one-on-one.
Yeah, it's amazing. Regardless of what happens tonight, there'll be a rematch tomorrow night of this matchup.
You got it, Sag.
There it is, chant again.
And a right hand to the jaw. Oh, what a knee.
Race is on, Tony. Look at Teddy pounding the mat.
Oh! Can he make it? Yes! Bagwell going wild! Marcus taking on 2 men here, Jess.
And he did a great job ducking the clothesline, but now we got all 4 of them in, Tony. Let's listen in. Who's legal?
I don't know. Watch out! Oh, no!
And there was nothing Teddy Long could do about that. He could yell all he wanted. Sags with a cover on Bagwell. I think it's over.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, they pulled him out. They wanted to pull him out. They want to get him back from what's happened the last 2 weeks on this program.
Nah, I'll tell you what they want to do. They want to hurt him so he can't wrestle tomorrow night. That's what they want to do, Tony. They could have won the match right there. Oh, look at this. Missy put a chair in the ring.
2 count.
We got new champions. I don't believe it. Tony, I've talked about it before. If you get a man in a pinning position, you pin him. You don't pick him up. The Nasty Boys made a major mistake there. They could have won the match. They could have won it. Now they've lost the titles, Tony.
This match is for the ECW television title. The champion, the man with ice water running through his veins, the shooter Dean Malenko, set to defend against the high flyer from Denver, Colorado, 2 Cold Scorpio. Scorpio with a few words for Malenko. Scorpio trying to intimidate Malenko, playing a psychological game. He's got the wrong man. Referee checking both the shooter and Scorpio. I don't think it's Scorpio's nature to smuggle a foreign object in the ring, and I don't believe the shooter needs one to hurt somebody. And we have seen that in the past. Oh, I forgot about him.
From Tampa, Florida, 222 pounds, 1/3 of the triple threat, 1/2 of the current tag team champions, and the current ECW television champion, the shooter, Dean Malenko.
That may have been the longest ring introduction we have ever had here in the ECW, and it just goes to prove what a long list of credentials as the shooter, Dean Malenko. There's the bell, the title is on the line. 2 Cold returning to Extreme Championship Wrestling after suffering an injury at the hands of that man, the shooter Dean Malenko, and his partner. Upon his return to ECW, Scorpio's been on a roll, defeating Hector Guerrero of the world-famous Guerrero family. But last night, he suffered an ankle injury, one, which may hamper his efforts tonight to wrest the Extreme Championship Wrestling television title from Malenko. Go behind by the shooter. Arm wringer by Scorpio, nice escape. Malenko looking for a way out.
And does, reverses the hold. Top wrist lock into a back heel trip. Nicely done by Scorpio. And now with an armbar, referee Jim Molyneux right there, checking if the shooter's shoulders are down. They are not. Scorpio now holding on to Malenko. Malenko escapes. Both champion and challenger circling one another. Scorpio favoring that injured ankle. Malenko goes downstairs with a knee and lands an elbow. Face first in the top turnbuckle goes Scorpio. Nightmare takes over Scorpio. And the flat of the boot right to the face. That is legal. And this time to the back of the neck. Scorpio rolled up. 1, 2, and up. Scorpio downstairs with the right hand now. Straight right to the jaw. Nothing fancy about that. Malenko shaking out the cobwebs on the outside. Jason coming over to discuss strategy with the shooter. Shooter seems to be in his own world, though. He's so focused, he is so intense. Shooter may be a little frustrated. He's definitely hot. He's back in the ring. Collar and elbow tie up. Go behind by Malenko. Scorpio lands an elbow. Straight overhand right by Scorpio. Make it 2. Rabbit punch to the back of the neck. Malenko shot in. Face first. Malenko is dropped by Scorpio. And now Scorpio on the offense. Scooping a slam. Scorpio going up. Leg drop. Cover. 1, 2, and no. 2.5. Half a count away from crowning a new television champion. Scorpio now trying to wear down the shooter. Malenko immediately rolls off his back. Great wrestling instinct to get his shoulders off of the mat. And Malenko slides underneath the bottom rope, but Scorpio goes right out with them. He is tenaciously holding on and lifting at the same time. Malenko rolls back in, Scorpio right with him. Refusing to relinquish the hold. Referee asking the shooter if he wants to give it up. No way. Malenko goes downstairs with an elbow. Make it 2 off the ropes. Scorpio ducks down off the near side. Comes Malenko. Drop kick by Malenko. Scorpio went to the well, wants to up and tried to drop the shooter face first once again. But that drop kick took quite a bit out of Malenko as well, as he came crashing down hard. Both men back to their feet. A fist and a headbutt by Malenko. Cover. 1, 2, and up. The shooter now stalking the challenger. Scorpio rolls to the outside, creating a timeout. Malenko, giving him no breathing room, goes right out after him. Both Scorpio and Malenko back in. Malenko grabs hold of that ankle. And down on the ankle and the knee. Like a piranha that smells blood like a bird of prey. you can bet the shooter will be relentless in his attack on the injured leg of the challenger Scorpio. Scorpio manages to roll out of the way. Malenko did not hit flush with that knee. But that one was a direct hit. Malenko rolls to the outside. Scorpio trying to hold on. But Malenko smashes the knee into the ring post. Jason roaming the ringside area. Smirk on his face right now as the shooter has matters well in hand, as well as Scorpio's leg. Referee Jim Molitor asking Scorpio if he wants to give it up. No way, says Scorpio. Malenko locks on a submission maneuver. Scorpio refusing to give it up, holding on to Malenko's arm. Desperately fighting for leverage. And Scorpio makes his way to the bottom rope. Malenko will have to break the hold. The shooter continues to attack the lower leg of Scorpio. And at this point, it's becoming more and more obvious that Malenko could win this matchup whenever he chooses, at any juncture. At some point, you have to think Scorpio, for his own good, for the welfare of his own wrestling career, will have to give it up. Perhaps the referee should seriously consider stopping this matchup, as the shooter is having his way with Scorpio, who doesn't stand a chance against the television champion. Scorpio tries to mount some offense, but Malenko takes him down, and again, wraps up that leg. Both men tied up in the ropes now. Scorpio clutching that leg, and Malenko shoves him to the outside. And it seems the television title will not change hands tonight, as Scorpio retreats on one leg, on one good leg, from the shooter. The shooter's got hold of a chair, and if he smashes that chair to the ankle of Scorpio, this matchup is over. Scorpio kicking off Malenko. Great survival instincts by the challenger, who right now you've got to believe is not even thinking about the television title, but simply survival. Face first through the turnbuckle goes Scorpio. Scorpio whips it hard, here goes Malenko. Shoulder first into the turnbuckle goes Malenko. Scorpio scores with the forearm. Make it 2. But he is still hobbling. He is in bad shape. That kick caught Malenko right to the point of the jaw, but it took just as much, if not more, out of Scorpio, who is writhing in pain on the canvas. Scorpio back up to his feet, and Malenko goes downstairs. At this point, Malenko may not even be concerned with defending the TV title. He may just want to injure Too Cold Scorpio. Malenko going for a tombstone pile driver. No, Scorpio reverses the hold. And Scorpio's going to score with a tombstone. He hits. But instead of going for a cover, Scorpio trying to make his way to the top turnbuckle. He does. Moonsault hits. Cover 2, and no. Call it 2 7/8. Scorpio so close to pulling off the upset and winning the TV title, but he is in pain, and he hit hard coming down from the top turnbuckle with the moonsault. Scorpio going up once again. And Malenko pulled referee Jim Molyneux in the way, in harm's way, and Scorpio decks the ref. Jason is thrilled, and Malenko is back on the attack. And with no referee in sight, brainbuster. Scorpio brought down head first to the canvas, compressing his vertebrae. This matchup is over and Malenko is going to hurt Scorpio. Just like he hurt Ron Simmons. Just like he. Oh, get the camera back on the outside. That's Taz in street clothes. Taz is in the ring. He's behind Malenko. Remember, it was Malenko who injured the knee, the massive leg of the Tasmaniac. Malenko has no idea what's behind him. And now the two come face to face. You could feel, you could smell the hatred in the air. Well, I guess Malenko is done with Scorpio. We've got a bonus matchup. The TV champion Malenko and his most persistent nemesis, Taz. Oh my God! Taz just suplexed Malenko on his head and folded him up like an accordion. Taz reviving the referee and limping out of the ring. 1, 2, and no! The shooter somehow! Where does he get it? He's made of iron! The Tasmaniac almost drove the shooter through the mat, and he was able to kick out the count of 2. And Taz drops the shooter again straight down. Scorpio doesn't even want to accept help from Taz because Taz helping you is liable to hurt you. Well, Taz has limped off. Malenko seems to be on Dream Street, and who wouldn't be? Scorpio now unloading on the shooter. He cinches up Malenko. Malenko goes behind. Rolls up Scorpio. Jason reviving the referee. 1, 2, now Scorpio's up Malenko. 2 and 3. We have got a new television champion in 2 Cold Scorpio. But the bigger story than Scorpio being a 2-time television champion was the interference of Taz, a Taz we have never seen before. This matchup for the ECW World Television title. 2 Cold Scorpio defending against Sabu. Sabu dodges the leg, catches a boot right in the mouth. Scorpio had Sabu well scouted. Clubbing overhand forearm. Sabu set for the ride. Spinning kick misses. Sabu does not. Sabu grabbing for a chair. We're barely a minute into this matchup. Chair across the back. Keep your eye on here, Sabu! And the 4-time ECW World Television Champion is in trouble. Clothesline, floor Scorpio. Drop kick sends Scorpio falling to the guardrail. Up and over into the first row. Here's Sabu, ready for launch once again. ECW World Television title belt. A belt he has worn before. He pinned Terry Funk November 13th, 1993, the first ever November to remember. It was Sabu's first main event at ECW. Cover, 2 and out. Scooping a slam on the champion. Slingshot knee drop. Not pretty, but effective. Scorpio escapes the powerbomb and hits one of his own with authority. Sabu clutching at his shoulder, softened himself up with those suicidal dives into the first row. You can bet Sabu will think twice before trying that again. Scooping a slam once again. Scorpio ascending to the top turnbuckle. Beautiful leg drop, high elevation. Scorpio not taking advantage of the situation, not going for a lateral press. Scorpio now jaw-jacking with the fans. He may have been able to score a pinfall on Sabu. Knee to the midsection. And a knee lift that rocks the jaw of the challenger. Scorpio now setting up that chair. What's he got in mind? Pair of forearms right to the bush. Sabu goes face first into the chair. Scorpio telling everyone here in the ECW arena that he's not quite ready to go up top and finish off Sabu. That is without question a mistake. Both men exchanging right hands. Scorpio getting the better of this exchange, but Sabu fires back. Scorpio with the advantage. Forearm right to the nose. Another forearm to the side of the head. Scorpio face first into the chair. Great reversal by Sabu. Scorpio gets to his feet. He's on wobbly legs, though. Keep your eye on Sabu. Up and over the top, both men to the concrete floor. And did you see Sabu's skull ricochet off that steel guardrail? That'll scramble your brains. Sabu now on the ring apron, eyeing Scorpio. Somersault plancha of sorts. Scorpio almost caught Sabu. Could have planted him with the powerbomb, but the momentum just too much. And Scorpio's in trouble. Is he ever in trouble? Scorpio thrown back in. Springboard kick. Cover. 2 only. Crescent kick catches Sabu. Right on the point of the jaw. Referee Jim Malino right there to ask Sabu if he wants to continue. I don't think Sabu can answer. Scorpio picks up that steel chair. himself at Sabu. It is obvious the champion is determined in remaining just that. Kick to the midsection. Shoulder block. Stiff chop. Scorpio sends Sabu for the ride. Splash in the corner. Sabu in big trouble. Crumpled up in the corner. Sabu set for the ride again. No reversal. In goes Scorpio. Tip up in the corner. Sabu hits the turnbuckles. Go behind by Sabu. Nice overhand right. And the challenger is battling back. Reversal once again the other way. Sabu gets caught. Victory roll. 2 and out. He almost got him. I understand we've got to take a commercial break. Should the matchup end during the commercial break, we'll show you what happened. We will be back. All right, this footage being taped exclusively for you fans watching CyberSlam 96 on ECW Home Video. Kick to the side of the head. Scorpio escapes. Sabu now stopping Scorpio. Modified camel clutch. Only one arm hook. A move taught to him by his uncle, the original Sheik. The Sheik is looking on back in Detroit, hoping that Sabu can walk out of the ECW arena tonight once again. The ECW World Television Champion. Referee Jim Oliver right there. Scorpio does not want to give it up. Scorpio now carrying all of Sabu's weight, showing great leg strength. Sabu dropped backwards. But ties up Scorpio. Both men absolutely relentless tonight in this battle for the ECW World TV title. Rolls. Now underneath, Sabu comes out from behind it. Kicks a 30-yard field goal in the nether region. And to be honest, I'm glad we cut away from TV when we did. I find this hard to believe, but the networks get a little uppity. And we get too extreme on this program. That sort of thing right there is what they don't like to see. But here on ECW Home Video, we'll air anything and everything. Scorpio with what appears to be a pizza pan, no doubt left behind by JT Smith. First from the timekeeper's table. Scorpio bringing Sabu in the hard way. It's over 1, 2, and now. Sabu finds the back door. A modified surfboard maneuver. Pulling back on the arms. Sabu did not give it up. Referee Jim Molineau in perfect position. Scorpio now riding Sabu. F. Nelson into a pinning predicament. 2 count only. Sabu with a boot to the face, make it 2. That's 3. Slingshot somersault leg drop. And Sabu didn't land the way he wanted to, it would appear. Nevertheless, cover. 2-0. Sabu now trying to cinch in an armbar. Scorpio trying to fight it by holding onto his own wrist. Now reaching for a handful of hair. That works. 1 count only. Knee right to the side of the head. You are watching a matchup for the ECW World Television title. Sabu receiving his first title shot since returning to this promotion at the 3rd annual November to Remember Picture Perfect Moonsault. Sabu got the knees up. Both men writhing in pain on the canvas. Scorpio pulls Sabu over. 2-0. What a matchup this has been thus far. Both men letting it all hang out. Chair to the face, nothing fancy about that. Arabian face buster. Cover. Scorpio kicks out in 2. Sabu makes a steel chair sandwich and may have hurt his own thigh. In the process, it's his knee or his thigh. He's clutching at his right leg. Scorpio trying to pry that chair off his chest. Sabu in a lot of pain. And that won't help. Sabu now with the chair across his face. Scorpio taking his sweet time. Has other ideas. He wants to go up top. Scorpio setting up for a tombstone pile driver. No, plant Sabu. Sabu clutching at his leg. And it appears now it is his right knee. And his ribs. And God knows what else. Scorpio at the splash. 2 and now. 2.5. Scorpio, no doubt in his mind, trying to figure out what in the world it will take to put away Sabu. The looks of this. Sabu no longer clutching at his knee. The champion in complete control of this matchup. Scorpio now all over the cage of referee Jim Molineau, not going for the cover. The fans rallying behind the challenger. Scorpio mocking them. Plants a boot right to the mush. Make it 2. Scorpio dragging Sabu back to his feet. Plants the challenger yet again. Once again, Scorpio ascends to the top. misses the splash. But can Sabu capitalize? He's injured his knee, his ribs, his groin, writhing in pain. Can Sabu take advantage of Scorpio's faux pas? Sabu climbing the turnbuckles. Scorpio cuts him off. Scorpio going up with Sabu. Sunset flip. 2 and no. Sabu kicks out. Sabu, the drop kick right to the face. And now it's the challenger who appears to be on a mission. But Scorpio pops back to his feet first. Scorpio goes up top once again. Sabu cuts him off. Sabu now going up with Scorpio. Victory roll from the top. Hooks the leg, 2 and now. Scorpio escapes. This matchup has reached a fever pitch. Both men injured. Scorpio trying to turn over Sabu. Sabu fighting. Not to let his shoulders touch the canvas. Sabu back to his feet. Drives an elbow. Has no effect. Flip in. Scorpio misses the drop kick. Sabu holds over the top rope. Scorpio back. Thrown up and over the top. To the floor. Sabu to his feet. Here he comes. Referee Jim Molyneux, operating out of self-preservation, just hits the neck. And Sabu hits Scorpio, who hit the steel guardrail. Both men now on the outside. Sabu throws Scorpio back in. He wants to pin the champion in the middle of the ring. Face first or chest first, actually, with a top turnbuckle. Scorpio set for the ride the other way. Impactful clothesline cover, 2 and now. Scorpio gets the right shoulder up. Sabu now trying to cinch in a Fujiwara armbar. Scorpio sits up to alleviate the leverage of Sabu. Scorpio leading on the injured knees of Sabu. Both men going over game plans in their head. It appears plans A through X haven't worked on either side thus far. Scorpio plants an E. Sabu sets for the ride. And dropped face first to the canvas. Fireman's carry. Sabu hangs on and drags the champion to the floor. Scorpio over the guardrail. Moonsault Scorpio, but caught the guardrail more so. Sabu may have shattered both kneecaps. Oh, here we go. Sabu dumps the timekeeper's table over the guardrail into the first row. Can you feel what's going to happen here in just a couple of moments? Scorpio lying in a prone position on that table. Not the place to be. Sabu can barely stand. But every fan here in the jam-packed, sold-out ECW arena is on their feet. The chair's too far away. Thank God he's dead. We may have just witnessed the end of Sabu. Now he's alive, but not well. You know, you can talk about where the big boys play, the new generation. What you just witnessed is what separates ECW from all the rest. We're nuts. We are completely crazy. We've lost it. Now playing with a full deck, both doors not in the water, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, you name it. We've lost it. Sabu and Too Cold Scorpio will do anything to walk out of this building tonight as the ECW World Television Champion. And that is what Extreme Championship Wrestling is all about. Cover 2 and now. Sabu gets a foot across the bottom rope. Both men barely able to stand. Sabu sent for the ride. Leapfrog Scorpio, boot to the midsection. Scorpio wants to go for a powerbomb. Sabu collapses to the canvas. Scorpio went for the doctor bomb. Sabu took him over with a reverse victory roll. 1, 2, and up. Both men struggling to get back to a vertical base. Both men staggered. Scorpio lunges at the challenger. Scorpio set for the ride. Moonsault press. 2 and up. 2 count only, says referee Jim Mona. Sabu going up top. Misses the moonsault, lands hard on those knees. Now clutching at his lower back. Scorpio now, sensing victory. Attempting to set up Sabu. Powerbomb. He dropped the bomb on Sabu. That's it. Good night. Hooks the leg to it. Now Sabu escapes in 2 15/16. Scorpio can't believe it. Neither can everyone in the ECW arena. Scorpio's frustrated. Scorpio going for the chair again. Sabu collapsing to the canvas. Scorpio takes Sabu down and hard. Lays a chair across the challenger's face. Scorpio attempting to finish this matchup. Hits the leg drop, that will be all. That was a hell of a matchup. Cover, hooks the leg, 1, 2, now! Sabu kicks out again! We are witnessing an ECW classic. Scorpio thinking it over. To the second turnbuckle. Waits too long. Catches a chair to the face. Sabu taking Scorpio over. Crawling towards the champion. 2 and up. Sabu thought he got it. Asked referee Jim Molyneux. Molyneux said 2 only. Both been very slow in getting up. Double clothesline, both champion and challenger on the canvas. Scorpio sitting up now. The final minutes remain in this matchup. Scorpio wants to go on top again. Sabu tries to battle back, but gets stopped in the chest. The champion up top yet again. Hits the Scorpio splash. Good night. What is Scorpio waiting for? Scorpio opts not to go for the cover. One minute remains. Scorpio now from the other side with the chair in hand. Misses. Can Sabu finish off the champion? Scorpio trapped underneath that steel chair. Sabu changes his mind, drops the leg. Seconds remain. He drags Scorpio away from the ropes. He's not finished. Slingshot somersault, leg drop. Scorpio takes the chair on the startup. Sabu clutching now at his left leg. Rolling Scorpio over ever so slowly. Cover, 1, 2, and down. Scorpio finds the back door. There's the bell. The 30-minute time limit has elapsed. Scorpio remains the ECW World Television Champion.
Retaining the Television Championship to Gold Scorpio.
Sabu wants the belt, but it's not his to have. The franchise looks to be in the best condition of his wrestling career, and he had better be. Tonight he gets a shot at Too Cold Scorpio and the ECW World Television title. A title he claims he has no interest in, he doesn't want, that he has no respect for. That's how this matchup came about. It's a matter of respect. Because the 4-time World Television Champion, Too Cold Scorpio, lives, breathes for that World Television title belt. And can he ever break it down? Don't let the fancy footwork fool you. Scorpio is all business tonight. None too appreciative of Shane Douglas's comments regarding the ECW World Television title. Douglas claims he's too good for that title. He's about the World Heavyweight title, the title he once held. And Scorpio isn't about to let anyone belittle the belt he has won 4 times. A belt previously worn by the likes of Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Bronco, the legend Terry Funk, Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Sabu, Taz, the list goes on and on. There you see the influence of Scorpio's partner, the Sandman. Scorpio burning a hole in the franchise with his eyes. Oh, these two men want at each other. And they're about to get their wish. Oh, this is gonna be a classic. I can feel it. And it's not about that World Television title belt. This is all about respect.
CW World Television title. Your referee is John Finnegan. Introducing first, tonight's challenger. From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 247 pounds.
Shane Douglas looks ready, but again, he claims he doesn't want the ECW World Television title belt.
This is the franchise, Shane Douglas. His opponent hails from Denver, Colorado, and weighs in tonight at 239 pounds.
Scorpio looks upset.
I stand corrected. He weighs in at a slim, trim, buff, ripped, chiseled, cut, and bolo 238.5 pounds. He is the current ECW World Television title holder. This is Too Cold Scorpio.
Scorpio better not worry about the official weigh-ins for this matchup, because tonight his World Television title is on the line against the former World Heavyweight Champion, the franchise, Shane Douglas. And Douglas disrespects the title again. Here's the opening bell. Scorpio taunting Shane Douglas with a WWF t-shirt. Douglas will tell you that was the worst 6 months of his life. He'll be quite candid in telling you that being Dean Douglas was worse than being one half of the Dynamic Dudes. And Scorpio trying to get inside the head of Shane Douglas. Douglas has none of it. They finally tie up, waistlock by Scorpio. The franchise takes him over, nice escape. The franchise with an extensive amateur wrestling career started wrestling at age 6, and you can see that man wrestling until he loses his cool. Then you'll see him take it to the extreme. Scorpio with another waistlock. Shane Douglas single leg takedown. Scorpio kicks him off. Both men back up to a vertical base. And Scorpio wants his respect. Tie up once again. Single leg takedown by Scorpio. Now twisting away at the knee of the franchise. Notice he's standing on the right foot of Douglas for extra leverage, shoulder down. Referee John Finnegan right there. Shane Douglas gets the shoulder up. Douglas reaches the ropes. Scorpio will have to break the hold. And does at 4. Douglas smiling and laughing, trying to get inside the head of Scorpio. He knows Scorpio is bent out of shape, and he will capitalize. Nice head fake, double leg takedown, and a lateral press. Not even a 1 count. 1, not quite. Both men exchanging pinfall attempts early on in the matchup. Power elbow time again. Now Scorpio with an arm wringer on Douglas. Douglas drops to his knees. Reversal by the franchise. Now the top wrist lock on Scorpio. Nice roll through and a cartwheel, and takes the franchise over and drops the leg into an armbar. And the fans here in the ECW arena appreciative of the athletic prowess of both champion and challenger. Scorpio now riding the franchise. Trying to separate that shoulder. Douglas rolls through, rolls back. Kip up of his own. Nice leverage move. And now it's Douglas with the advantage. Nice move by Scorpio. Takes Douglas over. No, Douglas reverses the hip toss. Standing drop kick by the franchise. Who gets up in the air like a cruiserweight. Scorpio thinking over strategy, going over it in his head. Great wrestling and counter wrestling thus far. Scorpio's 4th ECW World Television title reign began on January 5th of this year, House Party 96, when he defeated Mikey Whipwreck, who had defeated him the week before at the Lost Battalion Hall in Queens, New York. Before that, Scorpio began his 3rd title reign, defeating Eddie Guerrero last summer. Douglas audibly in pain as Scorpio works over that arm. Douglas with a short arm clothesline, nicely executed. Douglas no stranger to the gold, as you know, our first ECW World Heavyweight Champion. The man he defeated that night was Too Cold Scorpio. Douglas rolls through, 2-8, no, Scorpio, nice bridge. Both men going for a backslide. Scorpio's gonna get it. If he can just drop to his knees, the franchise fighting it with all he's got. And Douglas is gonna take Scorpio over. Scorpio lands on his feet. Kick to the midsection. No, Douglas blocks it. Belly to back suplex countered by Scorpio. Leapfrog by Scorpio. Douglas going for the belly to belly. Scorpio blocked it, turned around. Great wrestling instinct. Misses the thrust kick. Douglas with the kick to the midsection. Beautiful butterfly suplex. And thus far, the franchise able to stay one step ahead of the champion. So much has happened to both men since the NWA World Heavyweight Title Tournament back in August of 1994 in this very building. The night Douglas threw down the title belt, he won the NWA World Heavyweight Title belt and proclaimed himself the Extreme Heavyweight Wrestling Champion of the world. Scorpio now showing signs of frustration. And Douglas will feed on that, like the ring general that he is. Douglas says he wants to wrestle. And did he psych Scorpio out? 1, 2, and no. Douglas now all over the champion. Quite frankly, I'm surprised Scorpio fell for that. Kick to the chest. And right to the ribs. Scorpio fires back with a headbutt. And lights up the franchise. Irish whip in, reversed by Scorpio. Kick right to the solar plexus of the franchise. Scorpio, backdrop to the floor by the franchise. Keep your eye on Douglas. Baseball slide. Sends Scorpio into the steel guardrail. Up and over the top goes Douglas. Douglas now with the advantage, cinching up Scorpio. What's he gonna do with him? Scorpio dumped on the steel guardrail. A modified slingshot suplex. Scorpio dumped on the guardrail, falling to the concrete floor. And he's hurt. Douglas telling Finnegan to count Scorpio out. He would win the TV title belt that way, but then again, he says he doesn't care. And Scorpio may be counted out here. No, he just beats the count. Nice leverage move takes the franchise to the ring apron. Right cross, right to the chin. Douglas hits the steel. And that'll take the wind out of you. Scorpio measuring the franchise. And that's the problem with leaving your feet. You're vulnerable. The franchise took full advantage, throwing Scorpio to the second rope. Douglas now goes over the guardrail. Going through a cooler. And nails Scorpio. And we've got soda and whatever else was in there flying all over. It's a frying pan from the franchise. You don't see that often. Scorpio firing back with lefts and rights. Fighting over a crutch. And Scorpio breaks over Douglas's back. Battering ram with the chair. Douglas is down. Scorpio now all fired up. Kick to the midsection by Douglas. And a questionable kick. Scorpio thrown into the guardrail. Oh no, not on the concrete. Oh my God. I don't know if Scorpio can get up from that. The franchise just powerbombed Too Cold Scorpio on the concrete floor. And again, his eyes are rolling back into his head. They're crossed. Douglas saying to Joel Gertner, get ready to ring the bell. He'll take the count out. He doesn't want the bell, he just wants a victory. Scorpio can't even stand. He beat the count in. Douglas now standing on his throat. What a competitor is Too Cold Scorpio. But John Finnegan might want to think about stopping this matchup. Scorpio's eyes were crossed and rolling into his head. And now Douglas slamming his face into the turnbuckle. The champion set for the ride, hits hard in the corner, but fires back with a knee. And of desperation, Scorpio kicks low. And the franchise is down. Can Scorpio capitalize? To Douglas, this is just another matchup. He wants to defeat Scorpio by any means, count out, submission, disqualification, just to get another world title shot at Raven. To Scorpio, this matchup means everything. It's about respect. It's about his world television title belt. Scorpio's taken a hellacious beating thus far in this matchup. Now with the advantage, can he put the franchise away? I give up. Don't know what to call it, but it's effective. The franchise down on the concrete. But Scorpio is on rubbery legs. Scorpio with the moonsault, sandwiching the franchise into the guardrail. Too Cold Scorpio, 4-time ECW World Television Champion, just unloading his arsenal. But he can barely stand. Scorpio putting himself at risk as well. If he hits the franchise with everything he's got and it's still not enough, he'll be right for the picking. And this matchup's about to get really extreme. That one caught the franchise behind the ear. Douglas lying in a prone position on that table. Scorpio getting ahead of Steven! There's the franchise. Where'd he go? Scorpio turned his back for maybe 2 seconds. Where's Douglas? Douglas! Attacking Scorpio from behind. He must have crawled under the ring or around the ring. Even our cameras lost sight of him. And isn't that indicative of the franchise? So sneaky, so manipulative. He'll do anything to win a matchup. Shoulder block. Scorpio rolls on the franchise. Nice bridge to it. No. That kick had pinpoint accuracy. The franchise is down. Scorpio's thinking it over. Scorpio going up top. Douglas drop kicks his feet out from under it. And Shane Douglas takes it to the extreme. Scorpio came crashing down, folding on the timekeeper's table. Douglas dragging Scorpio back into the ring. No, instead decides to kick him through the timekeeper's table. The franchise setting up Scorpio. Vertical suplex. All the blood rush near Scorpio. Corkscrew. Cover. 2.5. Scorpio somehow manages to kick out. Douglas thinking it over. For franchise, ascending to the top turnbuckle. Douglas misses. Either a knee drop or a splash, hard to tell. Not exactly his forte. Scorpio sent for the ride. Ducks a clothesline. And again connects with the beautiful thrust kick. Douglas is down. Oh, he's not moving. Scorpio now goes up top. Picture perfect moonsault. But he got up. Scorpio didn't pin Douglas. Too Cold Scorpio consumed with getting his respect. May have lost sight of winning the matchup. He had Douglas, quite possibly, probably had Douglas beat with that moonsault. But opted not to go for the pin. Goes up top again. Beautiful Scorpio splash. And once again, doesn't even go for the cover this time. He's strutting around. Well, Scorpio not only wants respect for himself and for the ECW World Television title, he wants to prove to everyone that he is the better man. The champion mulling it over. Now slapping Douglas. Tip up into a twisting leg drop. But for a third time, doesn't follow up. Scorpio, I can only assume, wants to finish off the matchup his way, but Douglas back up to his feet with a tip up. Hits the belly to back suplex. Bridges to end. No. Give Douglas credit, sustaining all that punishment and continues to fight. Hits the the fisherman suplex. 2 count only. What a matchup. Scorpio lands an knee, but Douglas whips him in anyway. Douglas going for the belly-to-belly suplex. Scorpio fighting it. Goes dead weight on Douglas. Widens his base. Collar tie slam. 1, 2, and no. You heard ring announcer Joe Gertner. 25 minutes gone by, 5 minutes remain. Remember, this matchup has a 30-minute time limit. I'm not sure these two can last another 5 minutes. Scorpio now setting up the franchise. He's gonna go for a break and no, he gets caught. Super bomb by the franchise. Scorpio escapes. Well, both but now have done everything they can to finish off their opponent. What's it gonna take? Scorpio sitting, hits a crescent kick. Douglas collapses to the canvas. Scorpio now going up top, but comes back down to spite the fans. Now going up top. Yes, that's a mistake. You can't double pump like that. Low blow by the franchise. Douglas going up top with Scorpio. Belly-to-belly superplex. We've got a new champion. We've got a new ECW World Television Champion. Chris Jericho, the last survivor of the Hart family dungeon, makes his way to the ring. Very determined look on his face. Hart Hard Chris Jericho, former ECW World Television Champion. Lost that title in a four-corner matchup with himself, Too Cold Scorpio, Pitbull #2 in the franchise, Shane Douglas. As we all know now, it was Francine turning her back on the Pitbulls, costing Pitbull #2 the title. The franchise is now the ECW World Television Champion, but there is still some bad blood between Lionheart Chris Jericho and Too Cold Scorpio stemming from that Four Corners matchup. Too Cold Scorpio, four-time ECW World Television Champion. And there is no denying his footwork is unparalleled in this sport while they're still on the ground. However, it's when Scorpio's feet leave the ground that he is most dangerous. He's having a good time. As are we. You are watching The Doctor Is In exclusively on ECW Home Video. This should be a classic.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And they're already nose to nose.
from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. He weighs 230 pounds. This is Chris Jericho! From Denver, Colorado, 237 pounds, Too Cold Scorpio!
Scorpio wearing the tights he normally wears only in Japan, giving him a little international flair here tonight for this matchup against Jericho. Referee John Finnegan calls for the opening bell. This matchup is officially underway. And they're nose to nose once again. Shove off by Scorpio. Jericho returns the favor. They tie up. Waistlock by Scorpio. Jericho escapes, reverses the waistlock. Scorpio goes to the ropes. And Jericho, obviously the fan favorite in this matchup. You can see the fans hanging from the rafters, literally here at the ECW Arena. Not only the hottest ticket in town, it's the hottest ticket anywhere in the country. The two men circle one another. Collar and elbow tie-up. Scorpio drops down, sweeps the leg, floats over into a front chancery. Jericho sits out. Scorpio flips over. Nice roll by Scorpio. Single leg sweep cover. Jericho escapes. Sweeps the leg of his own. One count only. Outstanding chain wrestling by both Jericho and Scorpio. Waistlock now, takedown by Chris Jericho. Now with the leg lace, riding Scorpio. Smart wrestling by Jericho, grounding Too Cold Scorpio. Now into a bow and arrow. Scorpio rolls through to a lateral press. Jericho kicks out. Single leg takedown. Scorpio drops the elbow on the knee. And surfboards Jericho. Referee John Finnegan right there. Jericho will not give it up. Scorpio now pulling up on the head and neck of Jericho. Blatant couple of handfuls of hair. Jericho drops backwards. Now tying up Scorpio. Now what the hell do you call that? I'll find out. Front face lock now by Jericho. Scorpio alleviating a lot of that leverage, though he's already up to his feet. Double leg takedown, Scorpio now. Just ties up Jericho. Pushing back on the head and neck while pulling up on the arm. Jericho alleviating some of that pressure now with his right hand. But Scorpio double underhooks it. Cover, 1, 2, 2 only. Nice knee lift. That rocked Jericho. Both men back up to a vertical base. Got a Greco-Roman knuckle lock. Test of strength. Scorpio goes for the leverage, steps behind Jericho. Beautiful bridge by Lionheart Chris Jericho. Now trying to power Scorpio down. And Scorpio bridges. Jericho trying to take advantage of his body weight. Scorpio kicks him off up to his feet. Monkey flip by Scorpio, floats over, nicely done. Jericho returns the favor. Scorpio lands on his feet. Standing drop kick. And Scorpio at the arm drag takes over Jericho. Gotta love these honest fans at the ECW Arena. Crucifix coming up. Takes Scorpio down, 1, 2, no. Scorpio misses a suplex. Jericho lands on his feet, counters the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Jericho, a drop kick in midair. Arm drag and a Japanese arm drag, and Scorpio's heading for higher, lower ground. Scorpio says he's got a plan. Or he's just pointing to his head. And Scorpio with a blatant low blow. And then a jumping axe kick catches Jericho right in the mouth. He measured Jericho with that clothesline. Cover. Jericho gets the left shoulder up. That kick hit the mark as well. Jericho now. Some fancy footwork of his own. Jericho cinches up Scorpio's, going for the vertical suplex. Can he turn him over? Certainly can. And just like that, the pendulum of momentum has swung into the corner of Lionheart. Chris Jericho goes to the outside. Slingshot body press. 1, 2, and nope. Shoulder block by Scorpio. And again, Scorpio blatantly with a kick right to the groin. Scorpio now ascending the ropes. And either changed his mind or just to spite the fans decides not to. Instead, drives the knee between the eyes. T-bone suplex. Nonchalant cover, are you kidding me? Jericho now, 1, 2, and now. Scorpio's lateral press. Headbutt right between the eyes. And Scorpio drives a foot right between the pecs of Jericho. That'll jumpstart your heart. Stop it. And this time catches Jericho right in the face. Scorpio says he's gonna finish Jericho. Jericho gets bulldog. Cover. 2 3/4. Irish whip. Jericho slides to the legs of Scorpio. Waistlock reversed by Scorpio. Now Jericho goes to the ropes. Jericho hangs on. Scorpio lands on his feet. This is the clothesline. Connects with the crescent kick, though. Scorpio lands on his feet on the apron. Scorpio had that move well scouted. Jericho hits the concrete. Both men are taking a beating since the outset of this matchup. Scorpio with that buzzsaw kick. And Jericho lands chin first on the steel. Jericho rolls back in. Powerbomb! Scorpio goes all the way to the top. Drops the leg across the chest with elevation. It could be all. 2 7/8. Jericho picked up by his hair. Scorpio lights up Jericho with a pair of chops. Jericho throws Scorpio over his shoulder. And that time he connected. And Jericho feeling his second win. Going up top. Drop kick from the top turnbuckle to the floor. Chris Jericho in complete control of this matchup. Jericho cinching up Scorpio. Floats over nicely to unhook the leg in. 2 count only. Double underhook. Powerbomb. 2 and no. Scorpio shoved back in the corner. That's gotta hurt. Irish whip reversed by Scorpio. Jericho gets drop kicked to the small of the back. Scorpio. 1, 2, and no. Jericho set for the ride. Scorpio ducked his head. DDT. Jericho misses the Lions off and lands on his feet. Hits the Juan Corona, hooks the leg in. No. Jericho setting up for a powerbomb. Hooks both arms again. Turns over Scorpio. Scorpio takes him over with the head scissors. Nice counter by 2 Gold Scorpio. Scooping a slam on Jericho. Scorpio going to the top. Misses the moonsault. Jericho hits the splash with the second turnbuckle to it. 2.5. And the fans here in the jam-packed, sold-out ECW Arena appreciative of the athletic efforts of both Jericho and Scorpio. Scorpio set for the ride, reversal on the Irish whip. Jericho turns Scorpio around. They're jockeying for position. Scorpio shoves Jericho off to the concrete. Scorpio catches a thrust kick right to the jaw. Both Scorpio and Jericho down on the concrete. The punch to the point of the jaw. Jericho lands on his feet to counter the suplex. Shoulder block. Scorpio drops down. Jericho this time hits the Lion Salt 2-2. Jericho cinching up Scorpio. Scorpio counters the suplex with a DDT. Scorpio ascending the turnbuckles. Jericho cuts him off. Jericho now going up with Scorpio. They're jockeying for position on the top turnbuckle. Power slam from the top and a cover heel to the leg and only two. Jericho just throwing all of his weight on top of Scorpio. Jericho now going upstairs. He missed the hedo con plancha. Tombstone coming up. He nailed him. Scorpio going to the top. Shooting star press. He got out. Where did that come from?
Ladies and gentlemen, time of the match, 19 minutes, 57 seconds. Your winner, Too Cold Scorpio!
Too Cold Scorpio uncorked a beautiful shooting star press and got the dupe over Lionheart Chris Jericho in a nip-and-tuck thriller.
All right, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Opening things up in your house. It's time. Here comes Leif Cassidy. Leif Cassidy ready to lock up with Flash Funk. And Cassidy, notwithstanding athletic skills, I would suggest that those athletic skills of one Flash Funk are a little bit superior, at least when it comes to the aerial assault.
Well, I think Flash Funk's aerial assault may be the tops in the game right now, but this is a very important matchup for Leif Cassidy. Maybe a crossroads match for this man in single competition. I know he's very nervous. He's very ready, however, for this matchup.
He doesn't look a bit nervous to me, Jim Ross. He looks confident. He looks ready. He looks ready to prove to everybody that he can make it on his own.
Oh, no, that's right. Yes, indeed. Flash Funk in the pocket.
dancing now.
Wait a minute, I've been called out here.
Yeah, go ahead and dance. Let's get a shot of this, folks.
My goodness. Look at this.
Yeah, here's the leader of the WWF right there.
Come on. Loosen up, JR.
Oh, I'm loose, all right.
You.
I didn't come here to dance. I came here to call a match.
And we came here to watch Flash Funk get on in a squared circle. That's right where he's headed, folks.
I tell you what, if you like high-risk offense, if you like athletes that take chances, both these men are going to take some hellacious chances here tonight. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. Flash Funk and the Funkettes capturing this West Palm Beach crowd. Flash Funk sure looks like he's having a good time in there. You wonder whether or not he's going to have that smile on his face once things get underway with Leif Cassidy. What about it, JR?
Well, I'll tell you something. The key to this matchup, obviously, is hitting some of those high-risk maneuvers. But both these guys, King, I disagree with you. Both these guys got to be a little bit nervous. This is a huge event, seen all over North America live. It's going to be seen eventually all around the world in over 80 countries. Flash's single match debut, I got to think both these guys got some jitters.
Oh, I think you can see with your own two eyes that Flash is jittering all over the ring. You know, they say when you're a little nervous, it's hard to be still. Well, I think he must be a nervous wreck.
The thing about Flash is not only does he have the Flash outside the squared circle, he has the Flash on the inside.
Both these guys have great martial arts backgrounds to go with their high-flying aerial abilities. I know that Leif Cassidy was looking to try to ground Flash Funk, maybe use some submission maneuvers.
All right, here we go. Flash Funk squaring off against Leif Cassidy. Cassidy, of course, has spent quite a lot of time in the tag team endeavors. Wants to break out of that.
He certainly does, and this is his breakout match. How well will he compete in one-on-one competition? Nobody to tag here. So as we said earlier, perhaps some sort of a crossroad match as far as the single career of Leif Cassidy is concerned here in the World Wrestling Federation.
I think first thing Leif needs to do is slap that smile off the face of Flash Funk.
I would suggest that's exactly what he's going to do.
You'll get the opportunity.
Come on. He's nervous.
And Flash Funk taunting Leif Cassidy just a bit.
It's like Deion Sanders after he just scored a touchdown.
Well, that's true, but you're talking great athletes.
Leif Cassidy's no slouch.
Definitely not. Tight waist. Into a bit of a reversal there by Flash Funk. Hooks the elbow and a nice takeover.
Oh.
In shades of what we saw on the WWF Free-For-All, if you joined us for the Free-For-All, well, with Rocky Maivia, who was victorious, using the leg scissor, the head scissor. In terms of strategy here, JR, what would you advise Leif Cassidy?
I'd advise Leif Cassidy to try to wrestle a mat wrestling match, keep it very basic. Don't take any unnecessary chances, and if possible, go for the submission. Take the legs from Flash Funk.
He couldn't dance anymore, right?
Yeah, but we, Don Kirshner here, or whatever.
That's all right, JR.
Don Cornelius, I don't know who you are.
Held down across the arm. Yeah, Flash Funk in the arm bar, in control.
Flash trying to Charlie horse the upper arm of Leif Cassidy here in the early going.
And you can feel the tension starting to build, ladies and gentlemen, not just in this matchup, but I can tell you, Bret the Hitman Hart, who would not, and it was interesting, he would not grant you an interview there, JR. The Hitman Bret Hart, we are told, and you did speak with him, although not on camera, is wired some tight.
Oh, he really is. Bret and I had a conversation, very brief as it was.
Ho!
Bret is physically 100%. Mentally, I've never seen him quite like this.
Flash Funk, look at that maneuver. Unbelievable athleticism on the part of Flash Funk. Leif Cassidy from the other side.
Yeah, there you
Through
go.
The legs. Nice maneuver on the part of Leif. Nice takedown by Leif Cassidy.
Whoa!
Scissor there and arm drag takedown in control. Here we go. Flash Funk.
We saw the great strength of Flash Funk's legs, being able to counter the move from Leif Cassidy. That's what I said earlier. With all that great leaping ability and the vertical leap of Flash Funk is NBA level. Take the legs, Leif, if you expect to win.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the Armageddon match rules. And We haven't had an Armageddon rules match ever. It's the first, isn't it, JR?
It certainly is. No disqualifications, folks, tonight on pay-per-view. No count out. After a pinfall or submission, remember, the defeated wrestler's got a 10 count to resume the match, and when one man can't continue, folks, it is absolutely over, maybe in more ways than one.
All right, to the buckle. No. Oh, breaks. Nicely done by Flash Funk. Up like a hard right hand. Flash Funk quickly to the top. Oh, Flash Funk tries to get up there again. Goes way over him.
That's what we talked about, taking chances.
That's right. It'll backfire on you, too, and can't quite get him. Flash Funk, arm drag takedown.
You know, you're a flying Walinda, and you walk that tightrope long enough, you're going to fall sometimes.
Well, what happened to the flying Walindas?
See, when I do that kind of stuff, and when I say if at first you succeed, try not to act too surprised.
Wait a minute now, King.
What?
You're not actually known for your aerial tactics.
Well, I can be.
Yeah, you're right. And Flash Funk having some problems now. Leif Cassidy pretty much taking over. And this time,
a face first power bomb. That was a heck of a counter.
Yeah.
That was a great counter on the part of Leif Cassidy.
Flash is going for a head scissors there again to use his leg strength. And Leif took it right away from him.
That's why I say all of this aerial stuff can get you beat, McMahon.
And Leif Cassidy now, much like Flash did a little bit earlier on, having some fun with these fans.
King, I heard somewhere down in Memphis in the mid-70s or 80s, you did a drop kick one time.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, is that what you heard, Ross?
That's probably not true.
Uh-oh, and again, look at that.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, no!
A belly-to-belly over the top.
What about that?
Unbelievable. What a maneuver.
How does he get up?
On Leif Cassidy. He won't be getting up after that one.
I don't think people ought to call Leif Cassidy a geek anymore.
Wait a minute. Look at this.
Oh, my.
No.
A somersault plancha over the top. A springboard somersault plancha. Boy, you talk about high risk. That personifies that term.
Look at the look on McMahon's face. This is all the stuff you were expecting out of Flash Funk, isn't it? You can't believe the tables have been turned.
They have definitely been turned.
Oh!
And a clothesline.
After the sprint, right down the entranceway.
Something you've never been able to do, Ross.
Funk.
No, I never was known as a sprinter in high school.
Funk looks much like Riddick Bowe did after last night's matchup with Galata. Flash Funk is having problems. All right, listen. Whew. This capacity crowd very much behind Flash Funk. And I would suggest he could use a little assistance in some capacity.
Well, he probably could right now. Leif is, I think, wasting a little valuable time. He didn't go for a pinning combination once Leif got Flash back in the ring. Now he's going for it.
Here we go, 2 in. No, it doesn't get him.
That's the way I like to drop kick people, Ross, when they're already down on their knees.
That's that Lord Littlebrook drop kick that you made famous, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Well, no one would deny the success of Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh, no. Especially the King.
Wait a minute, something wrong with me. Whoa!
That was clever. That was clever on the part of Flash Funk. And Funk, perhaps a little desperate there, making a maneuver. Oh, look at this, here we go. Flash going to the midsection now.
Ooh.
Slugfest matchup ensuing, and Flash Funk with another right hand, and down goes Leif Cassidy.
Flip, flop, and fly.
And Funk now, oh, there you go. Oh, look out! Here we go! Go!
Oh!
Can you believe that? Flash Funk is getting funky here, live from West Palm Beach. Drop kick, unbelievable.
Great drop kick right in Leif's face.
Flash Funk now, over Leif Cassidy from the other side, and what's this?
Go!
Ow!
Unbelievable.
This sold-out crowd oohing and awing over that power bomb. Man, I could have sold a lot more tickets. I mean, we could have sold a lot more tickets if we had more room.
Well, no doubt about that. Here we go, capitalize, 2 in. No. Look at that double feature.
Here's a submission maneuver right here. Leif may have, he doesn't have that, the front face hook good enough. She'll be a little bit lower.
And underneath that chin, it'd be all she wrote. Flash Funk trying to make a maneuver here, trying to find some sort of counter. And Leif Cassidy really taking it to Flash Funk. And thus far, I would suggest that Leif is very impressive in single competition. Not that he wasn't in tag competition, but I think even more in single competition.
I think maybe we've underestimated, oh my!
And now Leif takes a page from Flash Funk. High-risk maneuver, but it backfired.
Nobody there for that moonsault. Again, pay for it sometimes.
What?
Oh! And Flash Funk is just full of all kind of funky maneuvers. And then again, so is Leif Cassidy, although you wouldn't be calling it. Uh-oh, look out.
Uh-oh.
Here comes Flash now from the other side with momentum. Oh, got him right on the side of the head.
Great martial arts move out of the handspring, gathering more momentum. And he may fly.
Boy, I'll say.
Air Funk may be about to lift off here.
Look out, here he comes!
Oh!
Flash Funk. Maybe we should call him Flying Flash Funk.
He needs to take a stewardess with him next time he goes that high.
Flash Funk, again, high-risk maneuver, but that one paid off. It's Funk's game now. Indeed, Funk has the momentum. The body slam. What can he do? Can he polish off Leif Cassidy all the way to the top? Here we go.
Watch this.
Funk.
Whoa! Beautiful moonsault.
Wow. What? He did not get him.
Got to be impressed with the tenacity of Leif Cassidy.
I told you, Leif is great.
Got to be impressed with this young man.
I'm very impressed. Leif Cassidy back on his feet. Oh, look out. And Cassidy to clothesline. And now Cassidy perhaps can pick up the momentum. Leif Cassidy, 1, 2, no. 1, 2, no. Leif Cassidy tried 1, 2, the shot. Wait a minute, 1, 2, and no.
Look at this.
2 and 1, 2, no. And in the event, look at this. Both men back up with, that should do it. If Funk can follow up. Can he follow up on it? No. Funk has had too much taken out of him. What a grueling matchup, opening up things here in your house. It's time. It's time for a great wrestling match. We're seeing one right now. Look at this. Whoa, to the buckle. Flash Funk. Leif Cassidy going at it. Leif up. Suplex down on the canvas. And now maybe Funk. Here we go. Here we go.
Get out of there, Leif.
This will make the highlight reel, I promise you that.
If he can hit it, if he misses it, it's all over a Flash Funk. Here we go in.
Oh my gosh!
Unbelievable, yes! And a big smile on the face of Flash Funk, and that was a hard-earned victory, and Estate earned over Leif Cassidy. Leif Cassidy proving he's a tremendous competitor in individual action, but not quite on the caliber of Flash Funk.
I'll tell you something, it was a great matchup, a lot of high-risk offense as we predicted, and we're going to see great things, I think, from both these athletes. And as it looks, especially Flash Funk.